Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 7 of our modded Greasus Ogre Kingdoms campaign. So, last episode, we had some pretty good fights against Kugath, and we are very close to wiping out his faction. We came down to get his last settlement down at Dragonfang Mount. We sailed from Dreadrock, but unfortunately, we don't have enough movement range to actually make the attack, so we're going to take a turn of attrition, unfortunately, but shouldn't be too bad. Okay, this army's actually, oh, that's pretty scary, actually. 5 things of exalted plague bearers, along with barons of the bog. 3 beasts of Nurgle, exalted plague bearer. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good battle. As long as Kugath isn't back, we should be okay though. Up here for our hunter, what do we want to give him for unique skill? The hit points in mass doesn't make a huge difference because once he gets the Stonehorn, he gets a lot of that anyway. Speed, range, missile strength, and stock. Colossal Strike, I think we're going to try to keep him out of melee for now. Giving him stock on the Stonehorn is actually pretty cool. But for now, the missile strength and range will help out. And then we'll do missile strength as well, because we might have a pretty tough battle here. We do have Bragg the Gutsman now, so he's going to help with that anti-large to take down a lot of these Beasts of Nurgle and the Pox Riders and stuff, but nothing too crazy outside of that. On our bounties, we go for Flayed Rock, which we are planning to come do with this army once they right now they're just holding down Shadowstone Base so we don't get a rebellion there. But looks like Gelt wants us to go down all the way down to the borders of Koresh and Cathay. That's really far away, so we're going to decline that one. Over here, the Knights of Kalador want us to go after the Desolation of Nagash. That's probably controlled by Clan Moors. Yeah, and that's kind of out of our way as well. This one we have a good chance of going after, though. And it has a reward for the Army of Destiny, which is really, really nice. Really, really powerful item. So here at Rune's End, let's get this so we can start recruiting some Chaos Ogres and Forsaken Noblars. And afterwards, we'll spend our growth to build up Pig Barter so we can get its landmark once it's at tier 3. Let's upgrade Dreadrock. Yeah, we really just have to get this Nurgle corruption down so we don't have to deal with rebellion. Because, I was thinking, if we take the settlement next turn, most likely we're going to have -10 penalty anyway from Conquest. So it actually might be worth it just to bring this Tyrant out and bring him to Dreadrock. That way we can continue to tax the settlement, because we're going to get a rebellion no matter what, which will get him some experience. But it means we make almost 1,600 more a turn because of that. And for his army, we want to get Blood Vultures, because I plan to go after the Chaos Dwarves after we finish off Nurgle. So Chaos Dwarves would really be nice to have some firepower, so let's get some Lead Belchers. I'm going to also disband one of these Nobblers so we can get room for another one. Plus we can share some of these with Greasus. But for the rest of our settlements, scrap towers. What do we want to build here? I don't know if we want to build anything right now. This bruiser we were kind of just watching out for. We're going to come take Flayed Rock eventually. So that's why we brought these 2 bruisers down. We have another one. Strong is a good trait, so we'll bring him down. We'll have a lot of bruisers all at once, which will be nice because we'll be able to finally unlock some careers. Our highest level bruiser actually got wiped out. One of our really, really close battles. So, leveling him up to Unstoppable Force, Larger Gut Plate, Healthy Appetite, and Foe Seeker. And then, meat-wise, I think we're kind of where we want to be with meat for now. After these battles, Greasus will have a lot of spare meat, so we should be okay to send some over to our camps after that. But yeah, these guys are just going to wait till they have an army to actually fight the Chaos Dwarves. Because he's going to go fight this Ogre faction right there. So we should be able to take some of his settlements before he can come back. I just want to make sure this camp up here stays alive. Because it doesn't have a garrison really yet. We've spent most of our meat just on money just upgrading it. But we'll see if Nurgle actually decides to attack us right here. Oh, he does! That's actually good for us. So, yeah, this is going to be a tough battle, though. 5, 6, 7 Exalted Plague Bears, 3 Beasts of Nurgle, 1 Pox Rider, 2 Plague Toads. Luckily, there's not anything crazy as far as... There's no Chaos Sorcerer Lords or Exalted Heroes. But it is going to be a good battle, guys. Alright, guys. Very serious battle coming up. We have the undead... Well, I guess not undead. The demonic hordes of Nurgle who march on us. Very serious army. There's pretty good garrison, but the army that is attacking us, they have 5 units of Exalted Plague Bearers of Nurgle. Now, these guys are pretty tough to kill. They have a massive 13,000 HP pool. They have poisoned attacks, and of course they have a lot of flies. So when they're in melee, they just become super hard to kill. And the big issue for us, for the most part, is all the demonic units have 20% physical resist. And our only unit with magic attacks are the Amblepeak Yetis, the Regiment of Renowned Yetis, and Greasus. Well, I guess Bragg Gutsman also has magical attacks. A lot of our characters do, but none of our units do besides the Yetis. But we have tried to take best advantage of the units we have. A lot of our ogres are damaged. But the key to this battle is going to be Greasus, because he has several abilities that will buff leadership. Of course, we have Cash Cascade that gives melee attack and leadership, going to be very key. But we also have Horde Master. Oh, if I can find it. There it is. That provides 8 leadership to all units, but it's in a pretty small area. And we have Gold, Glorious Gold. So lots of really, really important buffs from Greasus going down. Helm of Discord's going to help us debuff guys, but because that leadership from Horde Master is not that big, we decided to kind of perch ourselves up on this hill. Or we can use this little terrain to our advantage to block one of our flanks. That way we can kind of pile them up closely so our units get all the leadership buffs that they can, along with the melee attack and damage and stuff like that. But also, so that our magic is more effective, but a big thing for this battle is going to be our Yetis. So besides their magical attacks, they have an Aura of Frost. Now the speed isn't going to be a big issue, but they provide a -8 melee hex towards any enemies that are near. They don't even have to be in combat for that. So that is going to be very essential in negating all of these Cloud of Flies that a lot of the Nurgle units have. But lots of stuff to worry about. He has the Barons of the Bog. These are the Regiment of Renowned Pox Riders. They are very hard to kill. And they also reduce enemy damage and mass when they're in melee with them. Got lots of units, lots of Nurglings, and a big thing too is there are 3 Beasts of Nurgle in that army, along with we have 2 Cultists. But Beasts of Nurgle, man, these guys are just tough to take down. They have immune to flanking. They reduce enemy melee attack near them. And then they have regen. You know, we do have some fire attacks because of our Firebelly. He has fire attacks himself, but he also has Balefire. So this is a really good ability we picked up fighting the undead. That gives us magical attacks and flame resist. So basically this battle would be impossible if we didn't have that. Because without that, we would have no magical attacks to get all through all this physical resist. But moving up very slowly to our battle line. On this flank on the left, they decide to bring up a lot of their nerdlings along with some Exalted Plague Bearers. Now, Exalted Plague Bearers not only are really, really nasty in melee, but they have a short grenade. It's a 70 range missile attack, but it does a lot of damage, and it does a lot of armor piercing along with poison. Now, on this flank, they decide to bring up their Pox Riders along with Plague Toads of Neural, but man, our Hunter, that Javelin, his first Javelin killed 3 Pox Riders and got 2 on the second one. Only 1 with his third throw, but man, these things are important that we kill them because they are just nasty, nasty, nasty. They're very, very tough. We Vanguard deployed our Nobbler Trappers up in this corner. We took them off fire at will so they wouldn't be discovered. So we can use them to get behind some of the enemy guys and throw their little missiles into them. But yeah, Hunter doing awesome. This is like a very, very expensive unit, and he's killed almost a third of it. But we have our Man-Eaters and Iron Guts coming to help charge against these guys. Along with our Pigback Riders for their anti-large charge. And now I have the Beasts of Nurgle. Here comes the hordes of Nurgle. We bring in Brag the Gutsman. He is anti-large. He does a lot of damage. But you're going to notice that these things are just super, super hard to kill. We have the melee attack and melee defense debuffs coming down from Greasus with the Helm of Discord. And his Everyone Has Their Price ability. But the Herald of Nurgle coming in trying to Spirit Leech our heroes, because man, it is going to be tough. But we are going to try to make best use of all of our units. We want to get off as many charges as possible to build up our army abilities for the Ogres. But Hunter proven to be very useful. We've almost killed off the Barons of the Bog already. But now the hordes are coming in. They are going to start ripping our guys apart because Nurgle is just very hard to kill and they debuff our units a lot. Yep, so there you see those big old grenades from the Exalted Plague Bearers going after these Ogres with dual weapons and our Yetis primarily. Doing a lot of damage. I did notice it though, so we decided to throw a Troll Guts on them before we lose too many models and try to pull them back so they get out of range of them. But already battle going not that great in our favor. Although we have got one Beast of Nurgle to about half health. They have now switched all of their fire and their Exalted Plague Bearers onto Greasus. And just like that span of maybe 10 seconds, he lost probably a quarter of his HP just to those missiles. But luckily, some of them have run out and they decide to come into melee. But our Hunter's going to go around, try to get around the back and get some of his missiles off. Nobbler Trapper's coming in the back. Firebelly using his eruption spell and melee damage reflection. But yeah, these Exalted Plague Bearers trying to go for Greasus, they got him down super low. Our first use of magic right there for damage is piercing bolts. We have got them piled up really nice. But yes, Greasus is kind of the linchpin for this entire army. As you'll see throughout this battle, our units get very low HP, and there's no way we could get even close to winning this if he didn't have Horde Master. But we've taken out the Pox Riders and the Barons of the... Sorry, the Plague Toads, but the Barons of the Bog are still just barely hanging on. With the Focus Fire, both from the Hunter and these Nobbler Trappers, it should go down pretty quick. But look at just this incredible mosh pit right here. We do get their Great Unclean One summoned, who's going to also start debuffing some of these guys, but we are keeping their leadership high with Cash Cascade. It's like, look at our Nobblers. Basically, if they didn't have all these abilities going down, these guys would have routed forever ago. But I decided to pull the Greasus back so we can go in for a charge again. Trying to pull some of our heroes back so they don't get picked off. Because that does happen very, very often now. The AI has become a lot better at targeting down units. But Nurglings, Exalted Plague Bearers, Normal Plague Bearers. Nurglings being a real menace on our man-eaters, but big Burning Head come down. It does veer off course a little bit and starts to go into our Noblars, but luckily they've pulled back for the most part, and our Ogre Bulls don't take too much damage from that. But Herald the Nurgle throws down our Spirit Leech on our Butcher. But the Yeti's proven to be very, very key now. Like I mentioned before, this Aura of Frost is doing massive amounts of work. Almost all of these units around here, you can see the little aura, are getting that melee defense debuff. Which just makes us just barely able to get hits off. But our Hunter, we have switched his target onto this Beast of Nurgle, which Bragg is going after as well, trying to get some good hits off. Having a pretty good duel there. But Noblar Trappers now focusing fire on some of these Exalted Plague Bearers, hoping to pin them down a little bit. Because these guys are just nasty, nasty. They have so much HP. They're getting heals from Fecundity. This is just a very, very close battle. We are threading a needle with this battle. Barely maintaining leadership on a lot of these guys. Look at these Ogre Bulls. They are barely keeping it alive. But our Firebelly actually doing well is his damage reflection with Flaming Carnate doing lots of damage to these Exalted Plague Bearers, and he's trying to get a pretty good attack on this Herald of Nurgle. Everyone has their price goes down, rampaging units, and also getting rid of their leadership, which is going to be a big boost. Some of these Nurgle units are getting very close to disintegrating, but several of our Noblars have routed off. They just barely make it back before going off to the edge of the map, so that's very lucky on our part. But we have broken the right flank of the enemy entirely and started to surround them a little bit, and we have another big Burning Head coming down. Now, Burning Head is very useful against Nurgle because, for the most part, his units don't have a ton of armor. But very, very tight battle. All of our units getting very low. It's only with the combined use of the magic, our Yetis, for that melee debuff, and Greasus' big abilities on buffing and debuffing with gold, Glorious Gold, Scepter Titans to let him finish off some of these Beasts of Nurgle. But very, very close battle, guys. You guys have no idea how difficult this battle was actually. We had very little chance of actually winning it. We just barely pulled it out of the seat of our pants. But we decided to try and finish off some of these guys and also use that time to get another Troll Guts off, which throughout the battle, you guys can't see it in the replay menu, but we used some of our army abilities to get Feasting for a big single target heal, which we used on Greasus. Because if you guys notice, Greasus got down to probably about 4,000 HP, but through those massive heals, we kept him around, and he kept the rest of his guys fighting. Really, really tough battle. Oh my goodness. Look, we didn't even get that many kills. They deployed with 1,800 guys, but I don't think we got even like 500 kills, maybe a little bit over. That means the vast majority of these guys we only killed through making them disintegrate. But the army that attacked us, most of it died. Unfortunately, 3 Exalted Plague Bearers are going to come back. The garrison, the cultists survived, and some Plague Bears are going to come back. But look at this other army! Everything's coming back! Everything! There's 3 bursts of Nurgle! Okay, we get basically no healing from that. Yeah, so I'm just going to take the money then. Holy crap. Oh, and then we got the Lizardman Rebellion. Man, I know I said it last episode, but this is the campaign of difficult battles. Holy crap. There's no way we would have won that without Greasus' big names. Because like he has Cash Cascade, that he gets from one of his skills. That's a big leadership buff. He has Horde Master, which is one of his big names that gives leadership. And we had Troll Guts really saved us too. Those big heals on our characters. But also, I didn't look at it right away, but man, the Yetis, they weren't too much of a benefit on the offensive. Like, yeah, they have magical attacks, but man, their Aura of Frost, that -8 melee defense debuff, really came in handy. Because all these guys have Cloud of Flies, so we basically almost negate that completely. Otherwise, we would have never got through those guys. Yeah, Yeti's have been a really good pickup since we got that Regiment of Renown unlocked. Potion of Foolhardiness. Okay, we can recruit the Powder Guts now. Upgrade a settlement building to tier 5. Okay, let's level up Greasus first. Holy, we've maxed out our replenishment and our upkeep reduction. This is just going to be recruitment costs. Okay, what do you want to do here for Greasus? This is going to reduce recruitment costs and some recruitment rank and local bonuses. This is income from raiding, sacking, and looting. Man, as much as it seems crazy, I'm going to get this greater girth for Greasus. That's an almost, yeah, that's almost 1,250 more HP plus 15 armor, which is massive for him. Because he's been the linchpin of our battles, just holding everything together. So we want to make him as hard to kill as possible. So let's give him that little extra bit of physical resist. Our fire belly also doing really well. Let's do incendiary. That way he gets a couple more uses of his abilities. And what do we want to do for this? We could do Wanderer, which would give him speed and vanguard deployment. Firebrand gives him terror. And burnt contact effect. That's pretty nice to reduce enemy leadership. Or Destroyer, which gives him sundering attacks. I think I'm more worried about leadership. Let's do that one. Actually, no. We want to work towards Arcane Conduit first. Let's do Flamestorm. That's also a pretty good spell. And Magical Reserves. Our Butcher. Let's give him Feastmaster. That way he regens. And he also increases our replenishment. But then I want to do... Let's do another point in... No, let's do it in the Maw. I was thinking about doing a second point in Troll Gut so we could overcast it if we wanted to. I think we're okay with what we have. Our Hunter, man, he proved to be pretty... He killed a lot of the Poxriders, the Barons of the Bog. He killed 3 of them in one throw with his Javelin, so he did awesome. So those guys are nasty. Okay, if we go down his unique line, he buffs Yetis. That's the only thing we have in our army right now that would get buffs from him. So we could give them speed and stock, upkeep reduction, or Frenzy. Ooh, Frenzy would be really good, actually. Because these guys are already pretty good. Here, other Butcher, though, he did not fare super well. Let's give him Lucky Nobblers for the extra little bit of physical resist. Bragg the Gutsman did pretty well. Survived for a long time, but his anti-large is pretty useful. I had him going after the Beasts of Nurgle, which were the hard guys. But I think we're going to save his points now so he can get some of his unique skills once he hits level 12. But man, that was a very hard battle. Okay, we could auto rolls up, but we'd lose 2 Ogre Bulls. I'm thinking Noblars. Let's fight it manually. That'll give us the opportunity to use magic to heal some of our characters up. Well, guys, after that previous battle, we shouldn't be too hard-pressed in this one. We are going to fight it just so we can get some extra heal off, which we did with this Butcher, giving him Troll Guts. Massive heal, almost 30%. We Vanguard deployed our Hunter and our Noblar Trappers, but they have to march all the way up still to a point where they can actually start to get their missiles off. But a lot of our army did get damaged, so we decided to leave a fair amount of them behind. We are still marching up with some Ogre Balls with Iron Fists and dual weapons, along with 3 Nobblars in our payback, or 2 Nobblars in our payback rider. But for Nurgle's army, even though it may seem pretty meager, he's got 1 unit of Plague Bearers, Exalted Plague Bearers, which are about 3/4 health, Nurglings, and the Demon Spew. These guys can be pretty nasty for Forsaken, but he's got 3 Beasts of Nurgle. And all the while we're trying to get up here, these guys are healing from regeneration. So they are just going to be a menace. He does have a Cultist, and his Herald of Nurgle is a Lore of Deathcaster. We do get our big Fire Breath from our Fire Belly. Didn't hit too much. But the Demon Spew decides to come after him, so we pull him back, because they can do pretty nasty damage. They have high weapon strength, even if a lot of it's armor piercing, but the Fire Belly does have low armor piercing. Hunter, we get up and try to get some really good javelins off. The Beast of Nurgle, he does do lots of damage, but he did end up missing his first shot. Yeti's coming in the background. The magic attack's going to prove to be really nice against all these demon units. Cash Cascade flowing down from Greasus Goldtooth. Get that melee attack charge bonus. And Bragg Gutsman, we're going to have him hunt down some of these Beasts of Nurgle with his anti-large. Does a lot of damage. Like, these Beasts of Nurgle have big HP pools, lots of physical resist, and just overall pretty good defenses. But Fire Belly, yeah, he took quite a bit of damage really quick from that Beast of Nurgle, so we decided to pull him back. Our other Butcher is leading the attack against the Demon Spew, along with some Ogre Balls and this Beast of Nurgle. Grease is fighting a Beast of Nurgle all by himself, but he does have anti-large, plus the Scepter of the Titans, which does give him a big boost once that's active. But overall, still a pretty tough duel for him. Our Hunter did get out of combat, so he could start to throw some of his javelins again at some of these Beasts of Nurgle. Big hit right there. We did crumble the Plague Bears, but there's still the Exalted Plague Bears. But Yeti's going to come in for a rear charge in just a little bit. Reducing the enemy melee defense as well with Aura of Faust. Yeah, those magic attacks can prove to be very useful fighting the demons of Nurgle. Fire Belly came in for another charge. With his fire damage, I thought he could do pretty well against this Beast of Nurgle, but man, it's still proven to be a bit of a punching bag. We are getting some heals off with Troll Guts and some of our characters. Reese is still having a hard time, though, going after this Herald of Nurgle. But most of the army has crumbled. It is just this Beast of Nurgle and the Exalted Plague Bear still. But even with that, these guys are being very resilient. Now, our Trap is doing a fair amount of damage on these Exalted Plague Bears, but here's the big issue. Almost every single battle we've fought against Kugas faction, he's had these summons for Great and Clean ones, and these guys are just super hard to kill. If you actually take a look at them, they have bound abilities that reduce charge bonus and melee attacks, so kind of nasty, along with Stream of Corruption. But they do heal when they use those round abilities too. So almost all of the army is crumbled. Exalted Plague Bearers finally crumbling. But this Colt is still holding up pretty well. Yeah, man, that Greater and Clean one. We had our Fire Belly fighting him, but... And the Hunter hitting him with some javelins, but proved to be very strong. The Herald of Nurgle does go down. But this thing's leadership's still holding out. The Cultist has routed for good. We haven't quite finished it. Yeah, that Great and Clean one just proved to be huge bonus to their balance of power. It took forever to finally break the army and get army losses, but it's going to hold out because it is a demon until it dies. It's knocked over by Greasus, it looked like. or brag, but trying to team up on this fat green guy. Looks like Shrek. Even though we're the ogres, we're not green. Oh, it's still a pretty difficult battle. Much more difficult than I thought it would be. Especially with that greater unclean one summon. Always kind of catches me by surprise. We fought it manually to get some of our characters healed up, which we ended up doing, but then some of our other ones got hurt. So it was kind of a neutral outcome. But this is Nurgle's last settlement. He does have one little army still around. We're getting a rebellion no matter what, so I'm going to look and occupy it so we can get the extra meat. Yeah, since this army does not have a settlement, he will most likely attack us over the enter. For our butcher, though, yeah, I really want to get... Oh, actually, ingredients... Here, let's try to get extra ingredients first. So let's put a point to Trail Gut so we can overcast it. In case we need a massive heal for a single character. And we're going to give this guy Feastmaster too, just because it's good for him. He's not using a lot of spells, so we need him to be able to heal on his own. And then Bragg is still level 10, so not quite there. But we own Dragonfang Mount now. Medicine production is really nice. It gives casualty replenishment faction-wide, along with hit points faction-wide for characters once we get to tier 3. So we'll do that. And we have a lot of growth here, actually. So let's build up Shatterstone Bay and Shatterstone Isle. Are there any Tyrant's demands we want to use, though? I would really like to use money laundering, so that we can start to steal income from some settlements. Honeyport usually makes a fair amount of money. Can we actually look ahead of time? See how much it makes? Nope. Okay, that is a good one. We'll do that. I've wanted to use this one for a while too, so... And it gives us vision. So we get 50... And, oh, okay, that's pretty worth it. We spent 5,000 to build this. And we're going to get, like, 540 a turn. So it'll take 10 turns to pay for itself back. But that's only going to increase as the settlement gets higher tier, too. So that's going to be, oh, that's really, really good. We got to use that more. But for our other stuff, we could give meat, increase the rank, increase the movement range. I don't think there's anything else we want to do with that right now. So we'll end it at that. But anything else we want to build up? Let's upgrade Mount Foog. What about the Great Hall of Greasus as well? Let's upgrade some of these trade resources. Grimtop or income. We have a lot of meat now, so let's transfer some of our meat over. I think a lot of stuff in this camp is just waiting for us to hit tier 5, yeah. So we're going to want to put a lot of our meat over into that camp, so let's do that, because we have quite a bit with Greasus. We're basically out of money, though, so I'm going to do the max amount that we can. And we'll catch up next time we have some more money. But our new bounties are to go after the Demon Stump, which is going to be controlled by the Chaos Dwarves most likely. And, oh, the Sons of the Mountain have given us 2 bounties for Flayed Rock. One is to capture and occupy it, the other one is to raise and sack. So we need to sack it and then occupy it afterwards. But that seems like a great spot to end this turn. Let's get this first. Yeah, I'm just surprised every time we do an episode of this campaign. On Kugath's back too. What? That is nuts. He gets an auto resolve victory against us. Okay. Well, this episode's already gone on for a while, guys. So we'll pick this up and start this battle at the start of the next episode. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm Phil Hammer, and have a great day, guys. Thank you.